All right, guys, welcome back to Saturday Night Live with Raven. Joyous Spies is joining us today, also known as FemFit RX. She has been with me now 2 years, I believe, in a shared space. We do some stuff together and a lot of stuff separately. Um, Definitely offer different items, so you can always check out her stuff. Take a real good look at how she does her forms. It is very different than mine, so pay very close attention. All right, so today we're going to do a very easygoing, clear way to just explain crypto, what it means, and how to do it, especially for beginners. And we're going to keep it calm, peaceful, not super technical, really laid back. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. But hopefully by the end, you guys are going to know how to set up your first crypto accounts. You're going to know if you want to use PayPal and Venmo because they both offer it. So does Cash App, um, for very easy beginner purchases, how to set up accounts on exchanges like Coinbase and Gemini, which are the ones that I like. I have a Kraken account. I do have an Exodus account. I don't use it as much. Um, and then my cold wallet, I happen to like Trezor, which is much more advanced. So it is not something that we're going to touch base on. Um, so we're going to kind of go over the Coinbase, the Gemini, the Kraken. All of those are very easy beginner ones. Venmo and PayPal, very, very easy. We're going to talk about how to install and use a private wallet like Exodus. And we're going to discuss what that means. And we're going to talk about how to safely send the crypto and how to choose between stable coins and non-stable coins. So we're going to kind of touch base on that as well. What crypto is, it is basically and simply digital money. You can't, you can hold on to it in your wallet, send it, use it to pay for things, not just this stuff. I actually, my doctor, I pay in crypto, and I get a discount when I go in for my visits. Um, you can do pretty much anything that will take crypto, just like you would with online banking, like Zelle or anywhere else. But you don't need a middleman bank like you do when you're sending PayPal or when you send, because PayPal is basically a bank, or Zelle, which is your bank. So this is kind of a standalone. So instead of it being stored in your bank account, it's held in your wallet. Um, and instead of the name on your account number, you have a long address, which if any of you guys have looked on my form, you can see all the different wallet addresses. It's that big string. Um, and so we're going to talk about when it comes time to send and how to send when you see a wallet like that. Um, there are two types of crypto wallets. There's custodial wallets where someone else holds it for you, like PayPal, Venmo, Coinbase, Gemini, etc. And then there's the non-custodial wallets where you hold it, you control it, and that's like Exodus. Beginners usually are going to start with the custodial wallets. Um, Again, PayPal, because most people have PayPal. I don't. I don't have Venmo anymore, and I don't have Cash App anymore. All of those got taken down. But I do use both Gemini and I use Coinbase, and I actually really like Coinbase. Um, so we're going to let's talk about using PayPal for your crypto. Um, on your PayPal account, you open up your app. You tap finances or crypto. It'll be on your app. You're going to select your coin. Um, there is I think it's called Joyous. Correct me if I'm wrong because I can't look at it. Is it PayPal coin or PayPal? What is it called? I can't remember PayPal's version.
It's PYUSD,
PYUSD. So that is PayPal's stable coin, or they have Bitcoin.
and it's
Um,
Bitcoin and Venmo.
and it's just Bitcoin and Venmo.
No, it's the PYUSD is the same coin between PayPal and Venmo because Venmo is owned by PayPal, so they share
Okay.
that one coin.
Okay. So that's going to be your stable coin in those two. So you're going to select your coin, whether it's going to be Bitcoin or the one that Joyce was just saying. You're going to enter your amount and you're going to confirm your purchase. So that's how you're going to buy it. Now, keep in mind when you buy it, that money can take some time. Like they may put a week hold on it. I am not sure how long the hold is. For some people, it's right away. For other people, I've heard, oh my God, they're going to hold it for a week. So if you're planning on, dropping a hint, buying anything with crypto in the future, you might want to give it a try and experiment and put a couple $100 in with stablecoin, which is the pay USD, whatever. So buying the stablecoin, don't buy the Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, it's like the stock market. It's going to go like this. And if you're lucky and you buy it down here, and in a few days it's up here, you've made money, but it can tank again, which it has recently done. So when you're going to do that, you're going to select your coin. They may ask you to verify yourself. You may need to submit your driver's license picture, ID. You usually do, if you have not already done so, in PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. Usually you do. Actually, any of them you do. Right now, the money is now available in your crypto wallet, whichever way it is. It's if you do the stable coin or the Bitcoin. And you want to send the crypto to an external wallet. And this is important because for me, it would be an external. I'm not sure about for Joyous. Most of them are going to be externals. You're going to tap the word transfers and you're going to select send to an external wallet. Here is where it's important. Don't type in that long string. You're going to copy and paste it. Or if there's a QR code, you're going to use that. That way you know it's getting to the right wallet. You're going to select the appropriate network. If you look at my form, it will tell you which networks my stuff is on. And you have to make sure your network matches the network that you are sending to. Otherwise, it's going to get lost. So it is really important that the networks match, whether it's Tether or let me bring up some of mine. Let me grab my app here. That's the wrong one. So if I go into my Coinbase, and Bitcoin has dropped again, and I go to, I don't want to buy and sell. I want to, if it's though I was going to transfer. I'm going to pick the money where I want to transfer. On my Gemini, I have Bitcoin. I have USDT Tether, which has a T with a circle. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't think you guys can see that. I will probably do a screenshot. Or it's got USDC. The USDT and USDC are both stable coins. Bitcoin is not. Today, the Bitcoin has significantly dropped, which isn't cool. But so you're going to choose the appropriate network. And whether you're buying it from me or you're buying it from Joyous or buying or sending to Joyous, sending to myself or sending to anybody else, verify the network. If it doesn't say it on their form, reach out to them. If you are going to send it to a vendor straight to China, make sure that you understand what network they are using. It's really, really important. So again, you're going to select your coin, select the appropriate network, and then you're going to confirm the transfer. If this option doesn't appear, you might need to update your app and complete your identity verification. So if you don't see all these things that we're talking about on your PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and I think Cash App may only be Bitcoin, I'm not sure. You need to make sure that your app is up to date. It is the most current version. Venmo, very much like PayPal. You're going to open up your Venmo, you're going to tap on crypto, you're going to choose your coin, your amount, you're going to review and purchase. You're going to, and that's to purchase it. And as soon as it's released by them to you to be able to spend, it'll tell you when you can spend it. You're going to tap your crypto balance, choose transfer to an external wallet, unless they have a Venmo wallet or a PayPal wallet that they're accepting. They will let you know this. You're going to choose transfer to the external wallet. You're going to paste the receiving address or use the QR code. You're going to confirm the network and you're going to send. Both PayPal and Venmo are really, really good for the absolute beginner, but they're very limited in what networks you have. I have and can accept the PayPal stablecoin. I found that out. Joyce and I were kind of messing around the other day and realized that, oh, I can accept that, which is awesome. So those are the two very easiest ones. Now, if you're going to set up accounts on real crypto exchanges, Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, etc., it's a little bit different. So let's talk about Coinbase. That's the one I utilize the most to send from. And I'm going to explain why I do that in a little while. I downloaded the Coinbase app. I created my account. I completed my identity verification, and I added actually two payment methods. I have it linked to my bank account so that I can do an ACH transfer, and I have my credit card linked to it. There are fees, obviously, when you use a credit card. There can be fees when you do ACH. Generally, it depends on the coin that you buy. And this is something that I've actually recently learned. There's one coin I can buy where there's no fee, which is wonderful. There was if I bought straight up USDT, and because of, you got to understand the amount that I'm sending. If I buy $15,000 worth of USDT, it's a $500 fee. So that kind of sucked. But there's a different coin that I found that I can use where that has absolutely no fee. And so I've switched the kind of coin that I'm buying, which is now available on Coinbase. So that was really nice. So now to buy the crypto, you tap buy, you select your coin. On Coinbase, there are several coins. There is Bitcoin, Solana, the Ethereum, XRP, Tether, which is the USDT, USDC, which does not have any fees. And that's the one I've just learned about. So the USDC on Coinbase, I have no fees. And it is a stable coin and it earns interest as it's sitting in there. So I have an annual percentage yearly rate of 3.85 with the money that sits in USDC. So there's a benefit to that. It's kind of like a savings account in crypto. So, but I can use it to send and I can use it to receive. So that's on Coinbase. And it's actually very easy. I can go and I can deposit my money or transfer it in. I buy it, and usually I let it sit in my USDC till when I need to. But again, all of these can hold funds until it's decided that it's cleared. Some of them are instant, some of them may not be. It depends on how long you've been with them. Most of my purchases in Coinbase I get now pretty fast. When I first started, there was I think about 3 days of a waiting period for the funds to clear. So keep that in mind. Again, dropping that hint, you might want to be prepared for having some money in crypto available. So let's see. To send the crypto, you tap send, you paste the address or use the QR code. You choose the network. And if you were going to send me USDT, it would be Tether. If you were going to send me USDC, I will tell you which one to use. It would be on my form. That's one that I'm just about to open up on my form as an added one. If you're going to send me Solina, I need to tell you which one. So all of these things, the network, you have to make sure, or you're using the QR code, pasting it in, and then matching the network. Some USDC or USDT is not in the same networks on different programs or different platforms. So always pay very close attention. And you can always ask us to verify before you send. We're here for that. If you're going to send us anything in crypto, you can send a message. We can verify. We don't want your funds lost either. The security settings are important. You want to enable the two-factor authentication. I use my thumbprint, and you never, ever, ever, ever share login codes. Keep it private. So when I send, after I've logged in, it's going to send me through the two-factor authentication. It's going to make me verify again with my thumbprint that I indeed want to send. I don't know if the Venmo, PayPal, etc. do that. I really don't know. Another platform that I use is Gemini. It's smooth, it's stable, it is secure. You get your account set up, you verify your identity, you add your bank, you purchase your crypto, and you send using transfer, withdraw crypto. Again, you can do the ACH deposits and you can do pretty fast withdrawals when you're first setting up. There's a few things you're going to have to go through to get set up, so give yourself the time to do that. Kraken. I struggle a little bit more with Kraken. It's supposed to be really, really good for large transactions. I just have had and it's totally between my bank and Kraken, getting my bank account verified. I don't know why. The Plaid just doesn't want to do it. So it's been a headache for me. I finally got it set up. So now it's in the whatever stages. And again, you're creating an account. You're going to complete the intermediate verification. You're going to add your bank. It's usually done by Plaid. You're going to buy your crypto. You're going to withdraw through funding withdraw. So that's if you want to withdraw. Kraken has one of the best global security reputations. It's pretty secure. And if for whatever reason somebody was able to hack in, they're on top of it. I've heard the cases. I've got some pretty crypto maniac friends that anytime that they've had an issue where they definitely didn't send the money, Kraken did indeed do an investigation. So that was quite nice. And it showed that their account had indeed been hacked. And again, that's keeping your stuff secure, setting up that double security in there, using your thumbprint, making your passwords not easy. Don't use the same password that you use for everything else. Please don't use the same password. Don't save it in the cloud. Don't save it on a Google spreadsheet. If you need to have it somewhere in case you're going to forget, get one of those little password books and lock it in a safe that your kids don't have access to. That maybe your wife or husband doesn't have access to, depending on how much you want everybody to have or have access to that. But this is money passwords. This is like a bank. You want to keep them super secure. Now we're going to talk about Exodus. Exodus is a non-custodial wallet. That means you are in total control of your crypto. It is your money. It is your wallet 100%. It's still a digital wallet. It is not a cold wallet. A cold wallet is something you can actually hold in your hand, but it is still linked into the system. But if I want to look at the money that's in my cold wallets that I have set up for my children for when I'm no longer here, I literally have to be holding on to it. I have to plug it into the computer. I then have to go through several steps of verification in order to access that. That's completely different. I'm sure that people have heard, oh, somebody threw away a cold wallet and it's in some kind of, what are they called, where they take all the garbage dump, and they've been looking for it for years. Coinbase wallet Coinbase wallet app is now Base, right? Mine still says Coinbase. There are yeah, mine still, it's called Coinbase. Let me see if I can. It's got a big C on it. It's a blue C. It's the one that's, ooh, can you see it? The blue C right there at the top. That's what it looks like, and that's an Android phone. I'm not sure. Mine isn't called Base. It's just called Coinbase. So make sure that you are getting Coinbase, and I can find both the iOS app link. So I can buy and transfer Coinbase and don't need Exodus. Correct. You do not need to have Exodus. You can buy in Coinbase. You can send from Coinbase. You do not need Exodus. You do not need Kraken. You can do the same thing in Gemini. They are standalones. Now, they are the non-custodial wallet, meaning that they are the custodians of the wallet. Exodus is a non-custodial. So we'll talk about that in a second, but you do not need to have Exodus. Exodus is not a necessary thing. Exodus is a little bit more advanced. So to start with, and if you don't want to use your PayPal or in your Venmo, use the Gemini or Coinbase. I really, really do like Coinbase. It has a lot more networks to choose from. Not saying that Gemini is bad, because it's not. Like I said, I use them both. I receive into my Gemini, and then I send out of my Coinbase when I'm sending to my rep. So, and I'll talk a little bit about why I do that as well. But let's talk about Exodus real quick, and then I'm going to get back to those questions. So Exodus is a non-custodial wallet. You control it completely. You download the Exodus app on the mobile or the desktop. You create a new wallet. You're good, and you can create several wallets on Exodus. You go to settings and you find your 12-word recovery phrase. Write it down on paper. Do not put it on Google Documents. Do not put it on your computer anywhere. This is live and it started, so you should be able to hear us. We're about halfway through, and it is recording as well. So hopefully you can hear us. If you don't have your headphones on, or not your headphones, but your speaker on, you may not be able to hear it. Okay, so back to setting up the personal wallet. You're going to get, it's called a seed phrase. It's a 12-word recovery phrase. You need to write this down in a password book or wherever, but it needs to be physically written down. Don't put it anywhere on any electronic device. Don't do it. This is the most important thing, because without that, you can lose your wallet completely. And if you've got money in there and you don't know your recovery phrase, that money could be gone. So it's really important. Then you want to store it safely. You don't screenshot it. Don't save it in your phone. Don't save it on your computer. Don't save it in the cloud. To receive crypto on Exodus, you're going to open the Exodus app. You're going to select the coin. You're going to tap receive, and you're going to copy the wallet address, and you're going to paste it to whomever you want to receive it from. To send crypto, you're going to select the coin, tap send, paste the correct address, choose the network, confirm it. Now, in order to put money into your Exodus wallet, and if I'm correct, you do have to buy it on a different platform. Whether you're going to buy it from Coinbase and send it to Exodus, or you're going to buy it in Gemini and send it to Exodus, or you're going to buy it wherever, Exodus is the actual wallets versus the place to buy and send. So if you want to have the closest thing to a cold wallet but still have it be completely digital, that's what that is. All Exodus is a wallet. You don't have to have Exodus, but you can. meaning that by having complete control, if for whatever reason Coinbase decided that they didn't like me anymore and they wanted to say, well, you can't have a wallet here anymore, they can do that. Exodus cannot take away my wallets. And that's the difference. But if you're just buying coins in order to send it and you're not storing them, then you don't need Exodus. It's very nice, it's intuitive, and it's really good for people learning to use the self custody. So that's and then the next stage is the cold wallet, where that's the one I was talking about. I use Trezor, and I have 3 of them, like I said, where each one has Bitcoin sitting in it, and they're just locked away in the safe in an envelope with my children's name on it. Their seed codes are on a special device that is sealed that they have to open and then read the code. So that's so much more advanced, but that's Exodus is like the stage above a cold wallet, and all still on the computer, but you don't need to have Exodus. All right, the best coins for beginners is going to be USDT, USDC, or the PayPal, whatever Joya said. Um, um, those are all stable coins. They stay around the dollar value, so making them ideal for great purchases. The other coins are Bitcoin. It's slower to send. It might have higher fees to send. Ethereum is powerful, but it can be costly. And Solana and Base, BASE, are usually fast and very low fee to no fee networks. But they are not stable, meaning that they're going to flux a little bit. So, when you buy it, and if you buy, say, $100 and it goes down and now it's 90 something dollars. So that's something you need to pay attention to. So if you're going to buy a coin, and you want to be able to send it to anybody, buy the stable coin and send it. If you want to kind of play with it like in the stock market, then go ahead and buy one of the other ones and you buy low and you sell high. There are tax implications for that one. All right, so now how to pay someone using crypto. We've kind of touched base on it. I'm going to get a little bit bigger into that. You're going to ask for their crypto wallet. You're going to confirm the network that you want to send on and make sure that there's matches. You're going to paste the address, or you're going to use the QR code that they can supply. Double check the first 4 digits and the last or digits and characters and the last 4. Make sure that those all match. You're going to enter the amount. You're going to send it. Now, keep in mind, you want to make sure that you're covering those fees, because pay attention to what the fees might be. It should tell you. Because if it's going to cost, if I were to send my rep the $15,000 that I like to send him, it's going to charge me $500. He's only going to get $14,500. Obviously, the fees are not going to be that much if you're only sending a couple hundred, but I'm using that to show you what can happen with fees. So the person you're sending it to will not get the full amount. So pay attention to if there are fees and what there are and what they are. Very important. So for the beginner part of this, we're going to kind of put it all in a nutshell. And then I'm going to answer your questions in just a second. We're going to, the stable coin is a cryptocurrency that is designed to stay very close to $1. It's almost always at $1 value. The most common are the USDT, USDC, DAI, which I have not accepted. I don't even know if I can. I don't know if it's on mine. Stable coins are really great for payments, transfers, and avoiding the price swings. So stick with those stable coins. USDC, USDT are generally the most common. The non-stable coins, the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Dogecoin, and there's several more. Every time I turn around, there are new coins. They're great if you want to play with investing or long-term holdings or interacting with the blockchain applications or really want to get advanced, which I've not done, and that's the whole mining thing, which is not something I know much about. So again, stable coin is your steady and predictable value. Your non-stable coin, the price moves with the market, like just like the stock market. So stable coins, when you're paying someone, you don't want volatility, and you want simplicity and clarity. Those are the best ones. When to use the non-stable coins if you're investing or you're okay with the price swings. If you feel like playing it and you see Bitcoin is really low and it sounds and you pay attention to what they're saying and it sounds like there may be an uptick, go ahead, buy a little bit and you'll watch it go up. Um, I accidentally bought Bitcoin when I was trying to buy a stable coin when my internet was flicking in and out and in and out, and I was having all kinds of issues, and it dropped significantly. So that money is still sitting in Bitcoin. I am not touching it till it gets back up to where I bought it. It is just going to sit in there, and I just watch that and wait. I was very upset that day. So again, that's the hard part about Bitcoin or the unstable coins. It literally dropped within 2 minutes of my purchasing it, and my internet was going in and out. We had storms in the area. So by the time I was able to get back on and see that the Bitcoin had been bought and not the USDC had been bought, and not only that, it had tanked a lot. So now it's just sitting in there. And I'm waiting it out. So, again, stablecoin for purchasing from people, and you want to be able to not have you don't want it to fluctuate. That's your best choice. So some of the most common mistakes that beginners might make, you don't want to send to the right network. Match the network. Double check the network before you send. If you're not sure, take the moment and ask. It's not that big of a deal to stop and ask. Don't screenshot your recovery phrase, write it down. Don't assume exchanges release funds instantly. Sometimes they hold 24 to 72 hours, some might even be longer. So expect that. Plan ahead, especially when you're a new account. They're going to hold it for a little while. Venmo and PayPal are notorious for holding them for several days. So at least that's what I've heard. Do not trust support agents. These places, a real exchange, they will never send you a DM. It just won't happen. They will send you an official email, and you can always go back and verify that it's really them, much like your bank accounts. Don't forget to verify your identity early. So as soon as you decide which app you want to use, get it set up and verify yourself. This is going to help make things more smooth. As long as you avoid making the big mistakes, you're going to find it's really easy. It's a little bit stressful at first, and I get that. Take a screenshot of when you send it. You're going to get it's going to say it is sending. On mine, it'll tell me it's still sending, and then it will tell me it is confirmed on the blockchain. That's when I take a screenshot and I send it to my rep. Or if I was buying from Joyous, I would send her that. So now she has confirmation that I've sent it. She has the tagline to match with what comes in, because we don't get your names. We get this code number that says you've received from this long string of numbers. That's who you are. We don't know your name. No name is attached to it. So always make sure you take a screenshot of your confirmation that it was sent, because I can get onto the blockchain if I haven't received it and go look for it. I can go look up using that string of numbers in that confirmation to find out where it went. So, these are the most important things. Take your screenshots. Every time I send, I take a screenshot that I have sent it and it's pending, and then I take another screenshot when the transaction says it's been completed. And I send them both so that they know that not only did I send it, but it's also been confirmed. Um, my Gemini, when you guys send it to me, those that send it to me, it generally gets into me really fast. By the time I, it'll tell me I have an incoming, and then I get another notification that it has been completed. So I get the same notifications that you guys would get just on my end. Another reason I like to receive in Gemini is the way that that's handled. So crypto, it just doesn't have to be confusing. Um, as long as you stay calm, you kind of follow all of this, and we're going to put some documentation up to kind of do a walkthrough. So be watching for that in classrooms. But anybody can use this. I taught it to my 18-year-old. He thought it was crazy that his mom was playing with crypto, but I taught him how to use it. Um, and it's not that hard. And once you get used to it, you're going to find that it was just as easy as using Zelle. Um, so we're going to make sure that all of that, you guys have something to walk through and take a good look at. I'm going to put it up in classrooms so that you guys can get into it. And then I will probably do a second crypto that's going to be a little bit class that's going to be slightly more advanced. And then I'm going to let Joyous do some talking because she's probably got some things to add. The floor is yours.
I don't really have a whole lot to add other than every platform, regardless of which one you're using, there is usually some sort of hold period as you first get started. And it can be kind of frustrating. Like you buy PYUSD in Venmo or PayPal, and it won't let you buy a certain amount or it won't let you send it right away. There's a little bit of a hold period. So, like in the beginning, you can only do 100 or 200. But eventually you can, like I've been using mine for, quite some time, ever since it came out, and I can do thousands at a time now. But the first few months of very small amounts was very frustrating. And I know in Kraken, like if you load from your bank account, it's a guaranteed 7-day hold for your ACH every time. But then once it's in there, you can utilize it for anything you want. And I actually load into my Kraken account from my checking account as an ACH, and then you can hold your funds just as cash. And you don't even have to buy a coin at that point. You could just leave it as USD, and then you can decide to buy whatever you need to, depending on where you need to send it, which is a really nice feature in Kraken. A lot of the others don't allow you to just hold a cash value like that. You can only load when you're physically buying a coin.
So I
So
do know that Coinbase lets you buy just the USD or the cash. So I know Coinbase does. I don't know that Gemini does.
yeah, Gemini doesn't let you just hold cash.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine. I haven't used Coinbase. I had it previously, but then mine was eliminated. Much like you've had several accounts, Raven, that have been eliminated. Mine has been eliminated. Um, and I'm able to restart a new one. But one thing about sending to vendors and things like that, if you send from a wallet to a vendor that ends up being flagged, that is a way to get your account closed for one that you don't own. So, for example, Coinbase or Venmo or PayPal, where you don't own the wallet, if they flag a vendor that you have sent to, they can end up shutting down your account. So as gain experience and you're sending things to different people, sending to a domestic person is usually relatively safe. But if you're sending to India or China or any of the other sellers like that, I do recommend taking it from your regular wallet and sending it to a wallet that you have control over so that you don't lose an account because you sent to one that ends up getting flagged.
Okay, we're going to look at some of these questions now. Hopefully, Janie realized that this is live, and it has started. Um, it says you can't buy any crypto with a credit card. Actually, you can. You absolutely can. Um, there are several that will take credit card. I believe Coinbase even does. Let me take a good look at if I want to buy. I've seen where I can. Um, there are ones that you can use a credit card with. There are fees when you do it. I can't remember all the ones, and I haven't set up a credit card in them just because I don't want to pay the fee for it. Um, you can buy crypto in Exodus via debit. I just lost that. You can buy via debit card through MoonPay. That's what. Yeah. So um, there are ones like MoonPay, etc., that you can use credit cards and debit cards. But you do have to be linked either into a cold wallet or Exodus or something like that. Um, there are higher fees. The only advantage is that it is instant and no waiting period, but also your bank can flag it as fraud. Banks like to chase, banks like Chase don't allow crypto purchases. Really, because Chase just released that they're going to be joining into the whole crypto world. Um, do you add the fee? So if it says $1, add it to the total you, yes. So they're kind of, which I didn't talk into because it's a little bit in the more advanced, but they're called gas fees, even though you're not driving anywhere. Um, so add that in. Usually it's not a lot. It's going to be $1 or $2, and you add that in because that's what's going to be taken. Now some places will already add that in for you. It's going to tell you it's going to remove this much. So if I'm going to buy something or send something, it's going to tell me exactly what it's going to send, and how much it's taking out of my holding. Um, so, but yes, pay attention to the fees. It should tell you what they are. Can you explain to the group what gas fees are? That you have to purchase some crypto for the network you are sending the money on. Okay, well, I can. Let me get into the gas fees. That was interesting. That I didn't even get to that. I hear Apple Pay absolutely does not, and they will close your Apple Pay account. Okay. If you have Chase, you can't use crypto. Um, I don't think they can stop. You can buy crypto. I don't know why you couldn't buy crypto unless he's talking about a Chase credit card. My son has a Chase bank account and he's 23 and he loves crypto and he buys it all the time. So I'm not quite sure. All right, let me get into talking about the gas fees. Gas fees. The gas fees are the transaction fee that keeps the network running. So it's kind of like paying the network to continue to do its thing. Um, Different networks have different fees. Ethereum can be anywhere from $1 to $10 depending on the congestion. So think of it as rush hour. They're going to charge you more. Um, Tron is usually very cheap. Solana is often a fraction of a penny. Base, BASE, is a low fee Ethereum layer and it's very affordable. Bitcoin fees varies with demand. So they're not consistent. Um, Base generally is going to be, at least for me, the very lowest. Why do they exist? because thousands of computers around the world are validating transactions and they must be compensated. So this is to compensate for the usage of all of the computers that are doing this. Gas fees rule of thumb, high traffic means higher fees, low traffic is lower fees. If a network is expensive, you can always choose a different stable coin like USDT or Tron or Solana, or send it at a quieter time. Late at night is usually a good time. Um, so that's basically what the gas fees are. Um, and I guess we can talk about a little bit about what the confirmation is. So once you've sent it, it'll say awaiting confirmation, it'll say pending, and then you're going to see something like 2 out of 12 confirmations. That means it's going through the blockchain and getting it sent from point A to point B. Um, so that's the network is validating your transaction on the blockchain, block by block. Different networks require different number of confirmations. Bitcoin is usually 1 to 3. Um, Ethereum is often really fast. It's 15 to 60 seconds. Solana is pretty fast. Tron is almost instant. Um, Once your network has confirmed it, the receiver will see it, and you don't need to panic. It could take time. I've had BTC that I have sent take several hours before the receiver saw it. It just is what it is. Don't freak out about it. It's not going to be super instant. It's no different than there are times where when somebody has sent me a Zelle and it'll say, this will be sent in 1 to 3 days. I've had that a couple times. And then, so it's not instant. It means I have to wait till I see it actually come in. So it's
And
very much the same thing.
there are some platforms that allow you how quickly you want to send Bitcoin based on how much you want to pay. So if you want to send it like immediately, you can pay, we'll just say $4. If you're willing to do medium speed, it might charge you 2. And if you're willing to just let it sit on the network and get picked up at will, then that's going to be the lowest fee, but it might take up to 24 hours to send.
And again, that's where that sending us that confirmation, that's the important part because that means, okay, we know it's going to come in. We just got to wait for it. And we can look it up on the blockchain and see that it's making its way. So, you don't panic. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Very similar to sending a wire transaction. Can take 24 hours. I have sent a wire to my mother-in-law. She lives up in Canada. It took 2 days before she could have access to it in her bank account. Let me tell you, I was a little bit freaking out because it was for an emergency. Um, so, you know, certain times things can take longer. It really depends on how busy the whole exchange is. So don't freak out over the small stuff. Will this be recorded? Yes, it is being recorded. We are recording it right now, actually. And we are going to be, I'm going to put it up on the YouTube channel. So grab it there. As for, if you can't use your bank account, there are other ways. Even if you open up a real small bank account and call it your Peppy account or whatever you want to call it, and, at PNC or Bank of America or TD Bank or any of the other ones. Um, yes, do have the money ready. I've been dropping hints on purpose. So if you guys are listening, there are hints for this class. When we say you might want to plan ahead, you might want to plan ahead. Joyce and I are working on something very fun, but you're going to need to be ready for it. So, you know, eh, definitely plan ahead. Oh, we're not going to tell you yet. You have not too long to hear for it. We'll be releasing it in a couple days, I think, but be prepared. You guys are going to have the insider to be prepared. Those that didn't make it may not have that insider. Um, So in a couple days, you guys will start getting the information. Joyce and I are finishing up the details on it. Um, so the big takeaway is when you're setting up your account, get verified. Figure out which one you want to use. I would start with those easy to use ones. Eventually, yes, you can use Exodus to be your holding. And if you are sending outside the country, it's probably your best bet. If you are sending domestically, not that big of a deal. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to touch base on this. And definitely, so we have to use crypto for the surprise. You guys are really pushing to get answers. I am dropping hints that you guys might want to be ready. um, that's as much as I'm going to say at the moment. In a few days, we're going to release what it is. And for some people, it won't make a difference, but at least you guys will know how to do it for the next time we do something like this. Um, and the plan is to do this a little bit more often for you guys. Um, and if you guys have questions or you get to the point where, say, you want to test it and you want to get for $15 a vial and send it via crypto, and that way you're not freaking out about it, you can totally do that. And I can, if you send me a DM, and I will get to it. I always start off on my emails in the morning. Email is the first place I look. Those are the things I get done. Then I start doing all my packaging. I get to my DMs closer to the end of the day because people should understand that if they really need to reach me, you got to email me. My day gets very busy with getting all of these packages out. Um, Mondays are very hectic, and it's usually much later in the evening that I get into school because I do not ship on the weekends. I may package and label, but I'm not going to drop off UPS stuff in an unattended box and hope that it gets picked up and scanned. I like to hand it to people. Um, so, you know, take a good look at some of the apps, check them out, get yourself set up with an account. It's actually very, very easy. Very easy. Is it better to use a debit card on Coinbase or a bank account? I do the ACH. Um, you can do it both ways. Um, that's really up to you. I have more buying power as it being linked to my bank account versus using a debit card. So I have more buying power. For those who use Exodus, what credit card do you use to purchase? I haven't had one credit card work yet. That is a darn good question. I've had a couple when I do my cold wallet, it gets stopped. And I've gone through a few of them, and it's ironic that my BJ's MasterCard, which is a Capital One, seems to let it through the most
I
versus
have a Wells Fargo, both for a personal credit card and a business credit card, and both work. So Wells Fargo clearly doesn't care.
no. Well, and that's
Shocking,
the thing.
right?
It's like, so if your bank is giving you a hard time, it's not that hard to go open up a small checking account at Wells Fargo or Bank of America and literally have a little nest egg specifically for this. And you can easily go to one of these banks, make a quick deposit in cash or whatever from your other bank account, from your main one, and funnel it in there. There's nothing they can really say. You should be allowed to buy crypto. If somebody asks you, you say, I'm investing. You know what? I want to do this. I don't want to play in the stock market. No, I don't want your CD. I get asked that all the time. I use Ally on Exodus, no issues. Okay. And then there's some online banking. I think Ally is an online banking. Um, Capital One is online banking, and they may be an option. So again, you may need to find if your bank isn't crypto friendly. TD Bank has not given me any issues. PNC Bank has given me no issues. I don't have a Wells Fargo. Um, so, so if Chase Bank is being a butthole, pick a different bank for this. It's not that big of a deal. Um, and that way your funds are kept separate. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So Ally has credit cards too. Um, Another choice might be there are a lot of what they call digital credit cards or digital debit cards that are linked to your bank account, but it's got the debit, whatever, and it's really good for online transactions. Um, so that might be an option. I've not used those. My mom seems to think that that's the only way you should buy online. It's kind of weird. Um, so again, different banks have different regulations, but more and more of them are starting to support the crypto world. I have a feeling we're looking at the wave of the future. We are eventually going to be 100% digital coin. It's going to happen. Um, it just is what it is, and you're seeing it. Other countries are now jumping in. They're backing it within their what we call federal treasuries, and I have a feeling that the United States is right there. It is recording. Yes, there's going to be a summary. It's going to take me about 24 hours to get it up um, because I have to upload it all. And then we are going to do another recap that I'm going to put up in classrooms. Who are we waving at? I just saw everybody waving.
I had a message. I see you on the video. Yes, it's actually me.
It's the real Joyous,
Yes,
as
live and
opposed to
well.
all the people that try to um, take your name and make fraudulent accounts.
Oh, I
um,
found a good impersonator when I was looking for my own account.
did you really?
Yes.
Oh
So
my
there's
gosh.
one on Telegram and 3 now on Discord.
So yeah, Joya seems to have some absolute followers. They just gotta be her. um, which is actually really important. We're going to kind of super fans, not so much. On Coinbase, the first deposit was held for 10 days, the second one for 7 days before I could transfer out. So to start, be ready for Raven's big surprise. Yeah, so Coinbase, and it will start increasing your limits as well. I started off, I think, with $1,000. I think I wired mine the first time too. Um, so it again, it's going to depend on how long they want to hold it. I don't think I was held for 10 days, but I went from daily purchases from $1,000 to $15,000 for daily purchases to buy crypto. And that's on my personal one. My business one is actually higher. Um, how often do you use it? That's for Janie. I don't know if she can hear it. Um, Once every 2 weeks. And which platform is it? Is that on Coinbase? I'm pretty sure, while she's going to answer in a minute, I'm sure. Oh yeah, that's on PayPal. I can't. PayPal is going to do whatever they're going to do. You may be able to ask them directly for an increase. Well, PYUSD is also on PayPal. I was wondering, I was just going to ask, how often are people using this outside of the PEP world? I don't see companies accepting crypto as payment methods. It kind of depends on where you're at. I have seen it in some of the bigger cities. Um, Coming out of the Chicago area in 2015, there was actually some companies that were already starting to use the BTC, which was what was available. Um, I pay my doctor in crypto and get a discount for it. Um, and I think it's going to take time, but more and more companies are going to start doing it. Um, and it kind of depends. I mean, obviously, credit cards are the pushback. Everybody still wants to use that, and it's teaching people how to use it. I think is the hardest part. Um,
Well, and some of the
and
platforms are like starting to offer rewards for holding, like both Venmo and PayPal offer rewards if you buy PYUSD and hold it, and just kind of leave it sit there. And then they do actually offer vendors directly through those platforms that you can utilize your crypto with those vendors. And then you can also, like, if you get a Venmo credit card or a PayPal card, you can determine whether that pulls from a crypto side or it pulls from your regular Venmo balance or if it pulls from your bank account. So as more people start utilizing the different platforms, these platforms are creating more ways for people to use what they're offering to get their little piece of the pie. Because of course everybody's getting some percentage when they're doing it.
what are the benefits of using crypto? Well, certain if you're going straight into the door is open for you, Mags. Um, if you're going to send to China, they only take it. That's what they take. Um, more, more and more of the vendors are not going to be accepting um, PayPal because their PayPal's get shut down, etc. Um, as even some of the domestic companies for PEPs, um, they have to pay extremely high credit card fees to use them. And so they would prefer you use some kind of crypto. And I have a feeling that we're going to start seeing more of that as there's more pushback. Um,
Yeah, the average high risk transaction rate is 14% right now with payment processors and a rolling reserve of about $200,000. So if you've ever wondered why a lot of the research chem sites have much higher prices, they have to account for all of the back end payment processing fees and keeping a reserve like that and not even having access to that kind of money. So there's the high risk payment processing game is very lucrative for the companies that offer it. Not so much for the people who have to use it.
no. So far, knock on wood, I'm going off of a company that I have used for years, both when I owned the restaurant and for my other businesses. So they just look at the fact that I've been with them a long time, and let's just hope it stays that way. Um, but it is there may be changes as credit card companies. They don't like this world. They do not like it. Um, It's one of the biggest reasons why you never, ever, ever put in comments in Zelle, or I don't even know if you can with the credit cards, put in anything related to this. Anything. It doesn't matter who you're sending to. It doesn't matter if you're in our group or another group. Um, I think my PayPal got shut down because somebody literally put in every item they were buying in the notes. And so that immediately got me shut down. Then I did Um, and then I did a raffle and I got reported for gambling. And I was like, the raffle and all the proceeds were and matched went to buying toys for tots. I was like, gotta love the haters. Okay, so once you put money into crypto, how do you get it back out? Perhaps if you don't use it, there's a way to transfer it back into your bank account. Um, it depends on which platform you're using. If you use the PayPal or Venmo, you can buy it back. You're going to pay for that a little bit on a Coinbase, and I'm looking. I can deposit, I can buy, and I can sell. Um, I can convert, and I can have it sent back. Um, so there are ways to put it back into your own wallet. You click on which one it is, and I'm trying to find it says I can sell crypto for cash, which is what I'd be doing, and then from cash I can put it back into my bank account. Maggie, it's not playtime. It's really not. We can go out and play in a little bit. Um, but it doesn't hurt to let a little bit sit in there. It's not a big deal. I get it that everybody's a little bit tight right now. So when you do it, take into account that it might be something that you're putting in there every once in a while so that you can then make your purchase down the road. Um, it's literally, okay, I know I'm going to need to buy a kit of something in about 2 months. You can literally start putting money into it. Um, think about what the average things that you like to buy are. If say you wanted to buy a kit of I don't know, Reddit 20, know what that amount is, and that's what you might want to have on standby and let it kind of sit there. Or if your typical purchase is T60, that's kind of where you want to be. So you stick that in there, let it marinate for a little while. They like it when it marinates. Um, I tend to keep a good chunk in there just so that I know that it's in there. Um, but again, the purchasing that I do is obviously very different than the purchasing that you guys do. Um, but I take into account, okay, I need to make sure that I need to make a payment coming up because I'm about to do a large purchase. I start putting money into that before I need to make the purchase. I start moving it pretty consistently in there, so that when it
And
comes time to make the purchase,
many of
I
the
can do it.
platforms, you do a recurring buy. So just like if you like when you get paid and you'll automatically kick 50 bucks over to your savings account, you can set up a automated recurring buy in like Kraken or even PayPal or any of those. So it's almost like you don't even see it going there, but that's an easy way to also start generating consistent history with a platform is for them to see you like automatically putting in, even just $25, every week or every 2 weeks as to start building your little PEP fund. And I have multiple wallets and crypto accounts and stuff across a lot of different platforms. And most of them I started with doing something like that, just starting a very low dollar amount just to start showing history of moving cash into those accounts and then eventually ending up buying whatever coin I wanted to use. But it does make it kind of seamless to create your own little savings account by making it automated.
All right, does anybody have any more questions? Hopefully we've made this easy enough for you guys to understand, especially our new people. Yes, it's a little intimidating. I am going to be putting some stuff up in classrooms for you. What peptides are good for crypto anxiety? Anything that's good for anxiety would be good. Um, and Chris, if you once you've picked your platform, and if you want to do a little bit of one-on-one through it, I can set up a time with you. I don't have infinite amount of time, um, but I can I can help kind of walk you through it so that you have on your first purchase if you want, so that you have a little less anxiety. Um,
I think
that
between
I
the two of us, probably every potential platform, one or the other of us has enough experience on it to attempt to be helpful. So
um not on Bitcoin. I'm not quite sure what Scott referred to.
and anybody can unmute their microphone if they want to talk rather than type.
Oh, you're very welcome, Chris. Um, yeah, they're not very fond of undoing their microphones. They're all happy to chat. And again, in the future for lives, as long as you grant school access to your microphone, you do not have to grant access or even turn on your video, but you can turn on your microphones to ask questions, and it's a-okay. I have a question, but not about. Oh, you have a question, but not about Bitcoin. Okay, what's your question, Scott? I don't think your wife is asleep is a question, but hopefully she's having good dreams. All right, somebody's asking what platform you guys are using. I use several of them. I use the Gemini, I use Coinbase, and then I also use a cold wallet. I think that um, you use Joyous uses the PayPal, and you use Exodus, right?
I have Exodus, Kraken, Phantom. I do have a Coinbase. I've also used my Venmo and my PayPal, both the business side and the personal side, because like I have multiple Venmo accounts. Um, and I've done that simply to avoid, like, if one gets shut down, I've got plenty of others that all either have some money lounging in them, or I've built up the ability to do higher amounts, and they're not limited to the small things. So, kind of like needing to have multiple platforms, school, Discord, pep chat, all the things. For us, utilizing crypto the way we do with vendors, it's kind of become okay, I need to have an account everywhere to make sure that I always have the ability to send money.
Yeah, if we have a backup for every backup.
Exactly. And a backup to the backup's backup.
Yes, and now you need another new backup.
Yes, platform 4 coming soon.
Oh, Discord just had a wave of nukes, which is what we're talking to, and Joyce's Discord got hit for the fourth time, um, along with
Fifth
her
time.
impersonators. Fifth
Fifth time.
time. Fifth time.
Number 6 is officially up.
Oh my gosh. Um, so, and I know people had asked about that. Right now, I'm trying to buy 25 USDT Tether. And it says I am getting, yes, you are paying one because you're using a debit card. So that's your fees. What you're looking at is the spread. So USDC might be a better choice if that's an option. I'm not quite sure which platform you're on. So again, that's where there's a spread, and that is what that platform is taking. You had a question about LL37 and other immunopeptides possibly help with the possibility of cancer. I know that there isn't any that help with the suppression of cancer, but still. Have I
You
put
want
the
to take that or you want
LL30?
me to?
What's that?
I said, do you want to take that or do you want me to?
You can take it. All yours.
So LL37 is actually more of an immune modulator and an antimicrobial type situation. So it really doesn't have as much effectiveness in the realm of dealing with cancer and some of those things. PNC 127 is probably one that has the most potential research in relation to being some type of potential for anti-cancer. And of course, there's a ivermectin fenbendazole protocol that's available that a lot of people use for cancer suppression. I have a document on it. I don't have it like in a classroom, but
Are you carrying any of those right now?
I have ivermectin and I'm having some fenbendazole made.
Okay. So, hopefully that helped answer that question, Scott. Did you happen to get what she was saying? Do you want to repeat the ones, the first one, the P, uh,
PNC 127.
that's it. Okay. Um,
And I
and do,
periodically run a buy for that. There's usually like a select group of people. Some people will run it like once a year just as a preventative type situation. And then there's others that utilize it for an actual protocol. And I learned about it from somebody whose mother in law was going through cancer. And he is kind of who introduced it to me and the protocol that they were utilizing. And his mother in law has been in remission for months. So, in addition to what they were doing with their regular doctor, um, they utilized that protocol and had a lot of success with it. So,
okay. Do we have any other questions? We can do crypto and non-crypto. We've got Joyous, who knows a whole lot about the bioregulators. So if you have questions, she's an awesome source. Um, but otherwise, we might wrap this up. So,
Hi, Joyous. My name is Chella.
hi.
It's nice to meet you. I have been researching since 2021, and I recently got a diagnosis with Hashimoto's, and I'm just wondering if you could share information about some bioregulators that would support me around that.
I have some information specifically for like PCOS and Hashimoto's and stuff like that, that I can put together like in a classroom so that you have access and anybody else has access to it. That's actually one of the things that I've done in my certifications because I also have like a menopause certificate from Molly Galbraith's certifications and stuff like that. So I do have quite a bit of that information available and I can put it out there.
That would be great. Thank you.
Sure.
I'm at the very start of my journey with it. I'm sure I've had it for a while, but I finally got some functional labs done in September, and I'm just starting my journey and trying to get on track. I've only used GLP-1, GIP, and now Retta for the past 17 months. So that's been
Okay.
a journey that's really supported me in so many ways and changed my life. But I'm really looking forward to just getting some of these other chronic conditions under control. And I've had idiopathic neuropathy since I was a teenager, and I'm in my 40s now. So I
Have you utilized ARA 290 before for neuropathy?
I haven't. I just recently learned about it. I don't know why I didn't hear about it sooner than now, but yeah, just in the past, I'd say 2 months, I've heard about that peptide. So yeah, I'm interested in researching that as well.
Okay. Well, I made myself a note for getting that stuff put together and put out there. So I will
perfect.
do that.
So we had a question in the comments. How do we find where Joyce's products? She is, I think you're the third pinned top, Joyous buys. And again, when you're purchasing from her, her system is very different than mine. I know most of you guys are used to mine. Read her instructions and follow them. The entire way of doing it is different. You have to send her an email with the confirmation. For me, you do not because it's uploaded. Um, so it's a matter of, and I'll look into getting some of the either Joyous or I can look at getting in the PNC, or maybe the two of us can work on that. But she's pinned up there. Just please read the instructions. Her system is set up differently than mine. You have to follow it because she cannot, we don't have the time to be chasing people down for missing payments or missing forms. Um, it, understand that between her and I, we are packaging, we are talking to vendors, we are running the businesses. I have coaching clients here. She has coaching clients. So please follow our instructions. It helps us help you get things out to you quickly. She does not keep her inventory the same way I do. So if she is out of stock on something, she's going to let you know. So pay attention to the emails that you get back. Please mark us as safe emails because if it goes to your spam, we can't control that. It's if you follow each one of ours, you will get much better responses from both of us and things will get out to you faster. Fastest way to get a hold of me, if you want to grab me as quick as possible, is an email. I can see the email alerts coming in on my computer. I've seen about 15 of them come in just in the hour that we've been on. So it's like, and I see who it's from and I see what its subject is. So I know if it's something that I need to deal with right away. My phone also pings. Actually, it pings on 3 phones. So where school does not ping me, I just get a silent notification. So I get to that because I don't have it set as the highest priority. Emails are my highest priority. For Joyous and her system, you have to email her the confirmation of payment. You have to do this. If you have a question for her and you email her, understand she's going to be like me. I mean, we get emails consistently. It takes us time to get through the stuff. So, help us to help you guys is really the best thing I can say.
Yeah. And sometimes like it might take a hot minute to get back to a DM, but I will leave something unread if I know I'm not in a position to manage to it right now. Because like if I'm driving and it flashes on my watch, or I'm not home and I can't do anything about it, I might leave it unread until, I'm responding to like all my school messages at 1:00 in the morning. So that is not a fake time. I really am responding to messages at 1 a.m. But managing multiple businesses and all of the different platforms, I try to get to them every day, but sometimes it's just really late before I get there. So thank you for all giving us grace that you do in dealing with us. So
Yes. I mean, I know I have my day set up. And I love it when my son calls me and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I'm working." "What are you working on?" "I'm packaging." And then of course he has he introduces me as, "This is Alex's mom, my mom. That's her name, Alex's mom. Here's what she does." And he has a favorite way of describing what I do that's assimilates to standing on a corner and taking cash and giving out baggies. Uh, um, yes, exactly. And then I have to correct him. Bless the young ones, and he's not that young. But ironically, I have gotten several coaching clients from him. Ones that I will drive across the state once a month for nutrition classes. Because we're in a lot of Jeep clubs and we all get to these big events, and he's very, very involved in them. He volunteers for them all and is in the top tier of volunteers. So he's actually been a good network for me, but he's a little poop. Um, But that being said, most of the time when I travel, even if I know I'm gone for more than 4 days, I bring stuff with me and I ship on the road. When I did Jeep Beach and I was volunteering, so I was there for 2 full weeks, uh, I brought everything with me. I brought a mobile office, and when I ran out, I had my husband drive up the hour and a half and bring me more. Um, so even in situations like that, I'm still working when I'm not playing. But I do try to have balance of life. Joyous needs balance of life as well when we're not getting nuked, getting duplicated, uh, getting trolled. What else have we gotten? Oh, harassed, hated upon.
Threatened.
Oh my gosh. Um, and like I said, we are almost at our 2-year anniversary together, I believe. Is it 3 or 2?
It is, well, it was November, December of 23.
23. So yeah, we're almost at our 2-year anniversary together. Both of us have been in the community for longer. Um, so we have seen it all. Um, when I first decided to break out, there was only uh, what is it? JLo's, PGB, and EGB, which was Southern Dad. And God forbid I decided to break into it. And let me tell you, the haters were real. I was dragged through the mud and then some for those that were around. Um, but I have a true Gen X mentality of I really don't give a shit what you think of me. Just, you know what? If you don't like me, don't buy from me. If you want to be my friend, I'm your friend. I am a Scorpio and I'm a Gen X. It's as simple as that. um, but that being said, we've seen it all. We've seen all the drama. What's going on TikTok? It was in Discord last year. There you go, Gen X. Yes, you are. Um, so the drama is nothing new to us. The drama will eventually make its way into school. One of the things that for future that Joyce and I have been kind of batting around with is I have a server. Like I own a server. Um, the question would be how hard would it be to build a platform similar enough to this where we are completely self-hosted? So if you're going to report us, you're just going to report us to us, and then who can take you down? Nobody. Um, so it's one of those things. It's a lot of work, and I'm not that techie, um, and so it's kind of like deciding how to handle situations where we can find a truly safe space, where eh, let's put it this way: the school's going down. School will not give you a warning. They're not going to. If they find that you're in violation, they're going to do the same damn thing Facebook does, the same thing. They're just going to take you down. They're going to take you down. So anybody that says, "Oh, I got a warning," and yes, I'm calling somebody out. I got a warning. You don't get a warning. They're going to just remove you. Um, but the drama of reporting, that's what gets you taken down. And generally speaking, it's the competitors that are doing it. Um, I get auto banned when I try to join other school communities. I have very few that will say, "Why do you want to join?" And I'm like going, "Because I think we as leaders kind of need to stick together. I'm not in here to take your people. I don't need to take your people. I have no desire to take your people. They'll find me if they want to find me. But if something is going on, wouldn't it be kind of nice for us all to be able to communicate to each other?" Um, so those ones allow me to stay in, and I've actually helped a couple of those people out, or they've come to me and said, "Hey, look, I'm trying to find," and I'm like, "I can find it for you." Um, so when it comes to the competitors, if they just learned how to work together, it would be better. But instead, the drama follows. And right now, the biggest drama is on TikTok, um, which I find extremely amusing. Um, you know, yes, I could get on to a Raven account on TikTok and blow us up to 10,000 people. I don't want to. I actually take my personal account onto TikTok and I get blocked by supposed doctors when I call them out for their bullshit. Um, best one was the doctor that said, um, he was talking about BPC. You shouldn't buy BPC from the gray market. You should only buy it from a certified MD that uses a certified FDA approved compound pharmacy. BPC cannot be sold by any compound pharmacy. It is on the FDA ban list. And I called him out on it and he blocked me, um, which I found really funny because I actually posted the whole letter. But yes, it is, this is the Wild West. It is the Wild West, the peptide Wild West. The gunslingers come out, the drama is out, your haters are out. There are people that thrive on the drama. Joyous and I have worked very hard on all of our platforms to have a drama-free zone. On our Discord, we actually have a room called the padded room. And if you are given the padded room role, you can't speak and you can't see. They called it shadow banning. We call it the padded room. You're in a timeout. And the only way to get out is to come and talk to us about why you got in. Um, I have no problem banning people when they are drama people, at all. So, um, we push really hard to not bring drama into our world. Um, I don't engage in it with RNS. Joyous doesn't engage with it with hers. What we do on our own personal accounts, it's because it's personal and we might want to have some fun. um, but again, usually it's calling out the lies that I see on TikTok, and there's a lot of them. When you have a doctor claiming, and that's a great way to lose his license, right, Joyous?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, some of the stuff that they put out there, I don't understand why they put themselves at that kind of risk, um, because it is something that they could lose their license over.
Hmm. Because there's no way they're getting these products that they're selling from any compound pharmacy, the ones that are on the ban list, um, which means they're getting it the same place we are. Um, and it's a shame that people fall for it. But then again, I can tell you down here in Florida, I know for a fact I have sold to med spas. I know it for a fact. Um, so it's like, where these overchargings are happening, um, for the getting the same stuff that you guys are getting, um, is unreal to me. Um, we've also tested a couple. I have tested a couple of the med spas that are down here. I actually went and picked up some of their product and did it with the doctor that I work with. She's a peptide certified doctor. She's awesome. She knows everything that I'm doing. Um, and so we bought some samples. Basically, I went in as a quote customer, bought some peptides, and lo and behold, it didn't matter what dosage you thought you were getting, every single one of them came back at the same milligram. Now, my husband should be on 12.5. His was 5 milligrams. I was supposed to be on 5. Mine was 5 milligrams. Uh, the other person that bought was supposed to be on 12.5, 5 milligrams. Another one was supposed to be on 15 milligrams, 5 milligrams. Everybody's was 5. And then they wonder why their stuff doesn't work. And they're charging a lot for those. Um, but then again, that's Florida, I guess. I don't know. My girlfriend in another state had this happen to her. Yeah. Um, med spas are the worst. They are, if they are buying gray and they're reconstituting it themselves, either they're doing it on purpose, or they're just watering it down and don't know how to reconstitute. If they are actually getting them in, because here you can, in Florida, you can have the compound pharmacy like Hallandale ship it to the med spa and then they just water it down. I'm in Florida and my hairdresser experienced this. Yep. Florida's kind of a cesspool for that, I think. A lot of scammy people in Florida, unfortunately. A lot of new peptide domestics popping up in Florida too. Notice that. So, it's one of those things that on my personal account, I have no problem correcting people. But RNS does not allow drama in the space. We are very drama free here, and we intend to stay that way. All right, guys. On that note, I think that we are going to go ahead and end this. My dogs are going to need to go for a walk. The little ones that you saw begging to play. So I'm going to take them for a nice little walk out, and we will do another live. I think next week is a holiday weekend. I will probably not do a Thanksgiving weekend live, but do pay attention to Thanksgiving weekend.
Next weekend is not Thanksgiving weekend.
Next weekend is not. Okay, the weekend after. Pay attention to Thanksgiving weekend. Get all your coins in a row. And you guys have a great night. And I'm going to end it now.
Good night.
Good night, guys.